So we've all heard about the male loneliness epidemic, right? The idea that a massive number of men are facing extreme levels of isolation and the despair that comes with it, and how our culture is continuing to put down men while they are struggling to find connection. This idea is seen a ton in the manosphere, red pill, black pill, mainly incel-centered communities, but you don't even have to look inside those spaces. You've probably seen a viral video of a guy pleading his case about how the dating market absolutely sucks, and how girls these days just don't want an average guy like him anymore. That girls only want a guy who will buy them whatever and who's the richest, most successful, most attractive guy in the world, who also has like 10 yachts and 20 sports cars and 5 homes and multiple successful businesses, and he's 6'4" and he has abs and he's Iron Man. You know what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying. We've all heard about the grocery list of things certain people want in a man, you know? And you don't have to agree with these takes or these outlooks on life or with these guys making these types of videos, but you could see, right? You could see something is there. You only need an ounce of empathy in your heart to kind of see that these people are hurting and they do need connection and they do need help. They do need to feel loved again. But that idea that they're straddling and focusing on like it is the end all be all, that idea of a male loneliness epidemic that is plaguing men young and old, that everyone just doesn't care about men, is simply fake. Okay, maybe not fake, but it's a ruse, a deception, a disguise. It's something else entirely. Something these incel-focused communities and hypergamy-fixated content creators won't help you see. Something all the money, all the riches, all the success in the world will not fix. Okay, let's talk about the history of our dating world. Do you see this tweet? Yep, you can read it. I know you can. I'm not just bringing it up because it was the whole reason why I made this video at all. Definitely not. But this is what I kind of want to get into. How today's dating world is so drastically different from any other period of our life. And I think the one thing is because women are now our equals or close to it. And the majority of our lifespan is just humanity. Women have needed and relied on men to survive, for financial security, for the ability to speak what you want and to have freedoms, the freedom of having freedoms. Besides the past 50 years or so, maybe even less than that, women have always needed a man to get anywhere, to do anything, and that's how the system was set up. We could see in 1920 how women were finally allowed to vote. White women, of course, white women, everybody else got that right later on, but you know what I'm saying. Then the Equal Pay Act of 1963 stopped all wage-based discrimination based on sex, race, color, religion, gender. A woman and a man were in the same fields. You cannot just pay that woman less just because. And then in 1974, women were finally allowed to get a mortgage without a man being involved, without a father, a husband, or a brother signing them off and saying that they can get this. Imagine that you're working your ass off, paying taxes, and the bank tells you without your little brother saying, yeah, you could get this, you can't get it. Isn't that crazy? We could even see this drastic change in our lifestyles through the workforce. Today, 47 to 50% of the workforce is made up of women, compared to in the 1950s, 30% of the workforce. Even after a boom of women in the workforce from World War I and World War II. Look, I'm not trying to bring up all these numbers to confuse you or to scramble your brain. I'm just bringing these facts up to show you that women have been limited to a side character, to a mother, to a daughter, but not to being actual people. And nowadays, that's why we're seeing so much drastic changes in the dating world, in the dating life than ever before. Women are allowed to express what they want now, and nothing is going to hinder them from doing so. They don't need a man to live, to survive, to thrive. They could do all of that. And this is where I want to go into patriarchal ideas a little bit. I believe the patriarchy as a whole is holding all of us down. Because if you're not that old white man at the top of the system, then you're not reaping the benefits. You're not reaping the rewards in our society nowadays, because our roles have shifted. They have kind of been transparent almost. There is no more role of a man and role of a woman. A woman could do everything a man can now do, and a man can do what a woman can now do. Besides, give birth and Like the obvious shit, right? You could see a man staying at home and taking care of the kids, and a woman going out there to get the money for the household. Our roles as man and woman have been neutralized. The patriarchy that has made these roles has also implemented so many thoughts that have now negatively impacted us. My men out there watching this video, I know we have all been told to be strong, to be a man, to not let your emotions out, to not show weakness, to not cry. These are all ideas that come from the patriarchy, and I bet you negatively impact the way you view your own emotional world, your own mental health. Talk to your friends in your social circle about this. Ask them, when was the last time they cried? And crying is not an indicator that you're emotionally healthy. I'm not saying that, but I'm just bringing that up to have the conversation of how men are so comfortable with denying their emotions, with pushing away these unsettled thoughts, these unsettled truths, because the patriarchy has told you to be strong. So what is the patriarchy good for? If it's only benefiting the top uno guy up there, what is it doing for you and me? When the world has changed and women are able to do what they want to do, what does that look like? I believe that means we have to change with the world. We have to grow as people, as men. We have to embrace the change that has allowed women to be our equals now. The male loneliness epidemic. I do believe there's some truth in that. Men feel lonely, men feel scared, men feel like they're not supported anymore. But I think the reality is, it's not because our culture or society has pushed away men. No, the dating market, the dating world, society has now expected more from people in general. And simply being a man isn't enough anymore. In the dating world, you're expected to have a job, you're expected to have a car, you're expected to have these things that would have probably gifted you a relationship back then. And on top of that, you're expected to be emotionally mature, you're expected to have goals, you're expected to have passions, you're expected to be more than what was expected before. And that's just for everybody. But I feel like this weighs heavier on men because men haven't necessarily improved, because we are taught from men who haven't learned, and they are taught from men who haven't learned, and they are taught from men who haven't learned. You get what I'm saying here? So I feel like this loneliness that we feel that comes around is simply our own despair. It is our own Sisyphus pushing up that rock over and over and over and over and over. We can't realize that we are trapping ourselves in our own mental turmoil. So we blame the society, we blame the culture, we blame women, we blame everybody instead of pointing the finger at the man in the mirror. We need to change. All my men, we need to change. So the world has changed, but we're still being held back by these thoughts. How do we grow? How do we change that, bruh? How do we actually become better? I believe the problem to this loneliness is inward. Instead of pointing fingers at society or other women or other men for being better or this or that, bro, look at yourself. What is really stopping you from meeting these women? Is it how you view these women? Is it your physical appearance? Is it how you keep up with yourself? Is it how you take care of your mental health? Is it your social group around you? I can't speak for everybody, right? I think I'm not the ugliest guy in the world. I had some good luck. We are trying to live up to expectations that nobody is asking for us to do. And for the people who are asking for you to do that, you know you don't want to seriously be with them. There is some people who are still spouting out this patriarchal ideas, men and women. A man needs to do this. A man needs to be a provider. He needs to be. And I'm telling you right now, do you want to be with somebody like this, who believes they have so much control over your autonomy? We have to disregard the idea of a man and the idea of a woman and focus on the idea of a good person. That's what all that matters. That's all that matters, is if you're a good person. Because what does being a good man even look like? A good man or a good woman, they have qualities of a good person. That's what you want to be. Be a good person. Attempt to be a good person. Not a nice guy. Not a nice guy who'll be tripping out if a girl doesn't text him back immediately. But a good person. Someone who has passions. Somebody who has a life of their own. Somebody who doesn't rely on love to make them feel whole. Who doesn't rely on dating to make them feel whole. And I understand that loneliness is real, but that loneliness is real for everybody. Everybody feels lonely. I think it's just us as men who make that loneliness worse with how we think. how we inhibit ourselves from communicating about our emotions, about how we don't grow proper social circles at times. We deny everybody else around us at times. These things hamper us. And if we're being hampered down by these things, our social life, our dating life, our social life, our dating life will be negatively impacted. And the reason why we feel so lonely will be exemplified. It's not the world. It's not the women. It's you, big bro. Look in that mirror. It's you who should change. It's you who should improve, because that's all you can control, isn't it? You can't change how this random girl on the internet says something. You can't change this. You can't change that. You can't change the world. But you could definitely make yours a better place to live in. And that's all you gotta do at the end of the day. Improve how you're viewing things. Get away from these patriarchal thinking patterns that negatively impact everybody. Try to connect. Try to find social groups. Try to do these things. Try to find connections. And I'm not saying it's easy, but I don't want our view of things to be so skewed, because it is scary making connection. I can promise you, it's scary. Like, I think about, if I didn't have my same friends I made in high school, where would I be? And that's a scary thing to think about. But I promise you, there's light at the end of the tunnel. My men out there, try to improve. Try to improve your emotional intelligence. Try to improve how you speak to people, how you think about people, how you view certain things. Is it misogynistic? Is it down-putting? And I promise you, things will get a little bit better. And you know what I'm saying? Comment down my video. Maybe we could be friends. Tight shit. You know what I'm saying? Peace, love, paper. Hope everybody's doing okay. Catch y'all later.